Hello, and welcome back, everyone, for Race 2 of the IRS GT4 Championship Series. We're here for Season 3, believe it or not. As I mentioned, Race 2 here at Monza, legendary Monza. Sure to be a high-speed affair. Let's first bring up the telemetry for you so we can see what's going on throughout the course of the event with people's tires and fuel. And we'll run through the order. On pole position, it's Turbo. In second, starting second, we have Little Chicken Nugget. Tim Lohr starting third, our present championship leader. In fourth, we have Mo Power. Fifth, we have Ace Boy, who missed race one, but he's here for race 2. He's a reserve driver for the series, but hopefully we'll see a lot more of him, as he tends to be very competitive and clean. In 6th, we have Whitey and his McLaren. 7th, we have the first of the Pro-Ams, Gentleman Racing. In 8th, we have Moby, who's a Pro Division driver, but having some struggles with the new Toyota in terms of top speed, so it's tough, but we expect him to still be competitive, probably latch onto the draft of a couple drivers, and with his good skill set, probably make up several positions. In 9th, we've got Guido, the second in the Pro-Am drivers, you can see on the decals. 10th, we've got Desert Penguin, first place finisher in race 1 in your Pro-Am division. 11th, we've got Pie for July in the Acura, also a Pro-Am. 12th, we've got Drummer. 13th, we've got Johnny G, who had some good battles in race 1. Wasn't able to get to the lobby in time and set down a qualifying time. And Race Fan, also Pro-Am. So with the exception of Gentleman Racing, who did a nice job in the qualifying and is at the tail end of the Pro Division, the Pro-Ams and the Pros are all blended together. Let me give you guys an update. We'll try to get a graphic up on the screen giving you the layout of the lowdown on the point standings, but might be tricky this week. We got a lot of anxious viewers who want to see this race replay. This was a good one, and I'm certain that you're going to enjoy. So presently, after race 1, we got Tim Lohr leading 27 points, Turbo with 20. Tim Lohr managed to scoop up pole and fastest lap, so he picked up 2 bonus points along with his 25 points for the win. Little Chicken Nugget at 18, Mo Power at 16, Whitey at 14. We're coming up on the start now. We'll get back to the points a little later. Should be an interesting start. And they're off. Yeah, we can see it here. Turn 1, always an adventure. Turbo surges ahead of Little Chicken Nugget. Nice and clean. We'll check through the field as well. Looks like the leaders get through nice. Looks like pretty much everyone gets through nicely. Don't seem to be any major issues. Don't see damage on anybody. See Turbo opening up that lead as best he can. Mo Power's moved up to second with Chicken Nugget in third. Oh, Chicken Nugget slides it into the chicane. Tim Lohr, championship leader, is back in 5th. Somehow Whitey, Mo Power, and Chicken Nugget have moved their way ahead of him. Oh, and look at this. Power surging ahead of Turbo. Folks, we got a serious battle on our hands here in the opening lap. And we've got, I don't even want to call the order out. This might change in a moment. Got Turbo going inside. Makes the move inside. But Mopower's literally on the bumper. And you got Little Chicken Nugget trying to make a move to the inside as well. Look at the aggression here, folks. Everyone in the draft, everyone benefiting from the draft. Oh, Mopower looks to make a move inside. Oh, bump from Mopower on Turbo. No harm, no foul. Don't think Turbo's got any damage. Neither does Mopower. Little Chicken Nugget falls back a couple car lengths. Probably worried something was about to break off in front of him. And we've got Desert Penguin Pro-Am up amongst the pros. Somehow got ahead with a strong start despite having the full 3% ballast after his Pro-Am win in race 1. Excellent job by Desert Penguin. And he's ahead of two pros, Moby, who's got a penalty, and Ace Boy in the Mercedes. And it looks like Gentleman Racing, who suffered, well, he didn't suffer anything, he did it to himself, but he got whacked with some penalties and lost several positions in race 1, costing a ton of points. So he's down in points in the Pro-Am Championship to Desert Penguin, who's just surging ahead. Looking to make a move on Moby, but can't follow through, can't make a stick, and he's carrying a penalty, Gentleman Racing is. Let's get a look at Desert Penguin. He's strong. Get back up with the leaders. Turbo's open up about a 4 car length gap to Mopower. Chicken Nugget right on the back of Mopower. Oh, Mopower getting back end shaking around there. Looks like Tim Lore's gotten by Ace Boy. Whoa. Desert Penguin running up in 5th. Chased by a Pro Division driver, Ace Boy. Side by side into Parabolica. Meanwhile, Moby being chased by the Pro-Am driver, Gentleman Racing, and Guido, in turn, another Pro-Am driver, chasing down Gentleman Racing in that Viper. You can see the high horsepower cars are faring very well here at this track, where I believe the statistic is you're on full throttle close to 80% of the lap. So that element of things is really showing up. Let's get let's see, Johnny G down in 10th. No damage. Looks like he's gotten through cleanly, but he's running alone essentially. No benefit of the draft. Race fan as well. Whitey had some troubles. Oh, Whitey, looks like Whitey had an off. Oh, unfortunate. He's down in 12th. Car's looking good though, no damage, and the tires are strong, so he can still run the stints the way he was planning, however that may have been. Back up to the leaders. Have to check back on Whitey a little later in the race. He's got lots of work to do. Should be noted, Tim Lure, race 1 winner, is carrying a extra 3% ballast. He's got an extra 80 plus pounds on his car. Turbo is carrying an extra 2% ballast. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. While Mo Power doesn't have any ballast, and Chicken Nugget, our third place finisher in race 1, has an extra 1%. So if you're wondering what the percentages mean, each percentage point, depending on the car, is worth about somewhere between 28 and 30 pounds. So after each race, depending on your finishing order, you accrue a certain amount of percentage points. First place finish gets you 3 percentage points, second place finish gets you 2, and a third place finish gets you 1 percentage point. The pro drivers can max out at about max out at 5%. Once they got 5% ballast on board, regardless of how they finish, they can't acquire anymore or accrue anymore. So, Little Chicken Nugget makes a move after a mistake by Mo Power. You know, so a car maxed out is going to have about 150 extra pounds, maybe a little less than 150 extra pounds on board, as opposed to the normal BOP from Gran Turismo Sport. These cars are Group 4 cars, and they're running based off of the Polyphony Digital's BOP for this class, and then we work off of that. Race 1 was BOP was locked to the game standard, seeing as no one had accrued any ballast yet. And then after race 2 on, it has to be open so that people can make the adjustments, and then the organizers just check on people's vehicle specs. Oh, look at this. Mo Power getting around one of the back markers there in the Pro-Am division to try to make a move on Little Chicken Nugget here. And Tim Lore hanging tough. Oh, and it looks like Guido's gotten by Gentleman Racing in the Pro-Ams. Desert Penguin up ahead, still in 5th position, a great position to be in, being that he's the Pro-Am points leader. But let's see how Guido and look at Guido and Gentleman Racing dicing. Gentleman Racing looking inside. Backs out of it. Oof, keeps it tight, but backs out. Trying to put pressure on Guido, maybe. Yeah, definitely try to put pressure on him. But that Viper's got the legs. Neither one of these two drivers... Well, actually, Guido, the Pro-Am drivers also, based on their finishing position within their class, they also accrue ballast. And Guido looks like he's carrying an additional 2% due to his second place finish amongst the Pro-Ams in race 1. Meanwhile, Gentleman Racing not carrying any ballast. He had a really poor finish, really poor performance in race 1. So yeah, he's able to stay with Guido, but really can't give him a hard time, it looks like, over these last couple of laps. Matter of fact, he was ahead of Guido and got caught. And Guido put a move on him and got by. Oh, looks like he's looking, Gentleman Racing's looking inside. Looking to make a move inside. Oh, they break at nearly the exact same moment, and Guido holds on to it into the chicane. Get back to these guys in a moment. Let's check in the front, see what's going on. Still Turbo. Nugget in second with a little penalty. Tim Lord's gotten by Mo Power. Yeah, he's looking to catch up to those guys. Desert Penguin still in 5th. Ahead of Moby. Ahead of 2 pro drivers. Yep. You can see Guido just surge ahead under power. Guido off! Oh, and Gentleman Racing in response, perhaps in sympathy, with massive front end damage on the aero. He's got suspension damage. Oh, and Johnny G in the back. Johnny G in the back gets him let off relatively lightly. But Gentleman Racing, engine damage, that's going to be a stop. That's going to throw the whole race off. He's just got to try to recover as best as he can. He's going to get overtaken for sure by Race Fan. And Johnny G's back on course. He's only got suspension damage, so he may be able to tough it out. We'll see if he pits. We're pretty sure Gentleman Racing. Yeah, see, he's got the hazard lights on. Getting caught by Race Fan. Is he gonna... Yeah, he's gonna have to pit. I don't think there's any question about it. Can't run at that pace. Yeah, so Gentleman Racing pits. Race Fan continues. Johnny does pit as well. And Whitey's a beneficiary of that. He had his incident early on lap 5 or 6, we believe. So he's able to pick up this position. And this is costly for those other 2 drivers who just pitted, because they're going to have to stop again. It's way early in the race. No way they're going to make it on fuel. So Whitey's making up some spots, albeit, you know, amongst the Pro-Ams. He's a pro, but it's still something. It's coming up on Drummer. Woes in the Pro-Am division. Turbo, we're back up front now with Turbo, our leader. Setting a nice pace in the 56s. Timlor up to second. We didn't see that overtake, but somehow he got by Mo Power and Chicken Nugget, who are now battling each other. Perhaps with an error by Chicken Nugget, who was running in second there. Sorry we missed that footage. So Turbo, with about a half a front straight lead on Timlor, who's got himself a healthy gap back to, well, not that healthy with these cars. Timlor's not one to be making mistakes, but if Mo Power and Chicken Nugget could work together, they could perhaps get back up there with... Oh, and Timlor with a 2.5 penalty. Oh, that seems harsh. We didn't really see anything there that would indicate having gotten some kind of advantage to justify that kind of penalty. Should be noted for these races that you know, track limit penalties are on weak, and it's rare to see a penalty that big. Oof. Yeah, we're gonna have to check with the stewards there. That's don't know that there's much they can do about the penalties on weak. It's automated at this point, but that seems odd. I mean, we may have missed it, but it really didn't look at all like that. He didn't go crazy on any other curves, didn't shortcut anything. Burned off 2/10 there. Let's see what's going on back. Moby up to 5th. Moving Penguin back down to 6th with Ace Boy on his tail. Ooh, argy bargy here. And that Lexus accelerating. Oh, contact. Almost. That was almost a disaster going into the first chicane. And Moby is just, he's got to be just, he's pushing super hard to get away from those guys with them having the horsepower advantage there. And Guido within sight of Desert Penguin and Ace Boy. After losing Gentleman Racing, who had his off, he's free and clear. If he can catch up into the draft of Desert Penguin, he might be able to give him a go. With their cars being similarly decked out in terms of horsepower and no ballast for Guido, he may be able to put something on. And look at the tires. Oof. Guido, which much better tire condition. Race fan running nicely in the top 10. Whitey up in 10th, probably looking to chase down Race Fan, who's a Pro-Am, and just try to get as many points back as he can. Johnny Pitt made a stop in the pits, and looks like he took the repairs, but I don't know if that's going to be 15 laps worth of fuel. It's possible. And Gentleman Racing, that chassis took a serious hit. It's not really looking right. Another just disastrous outing here. Perhaps more testing and practice for the Gentleman Racing, our driver here. Gonna make a run at the Pro-Am Championship. It's gonna be hard pressed to do that though, with the Pro-Am leader, championship leader, looking to score points in the top 6. Ooh, Moby keeping it together through the second Lesmo there, but it gets into the dirt. Tires are going to be questionable. Ace Boy with had over a second penalty. I guess Monza even on weak, has some pretty tough penalties. Yeah, see the avatar checking the mirrors. Probably thinking, go ahead guys, go at it. Well, so I can get away. Oh, Desert Penguin looking on the inside of Moby. Toyota versus Lexus here. And that race team running the Supra has been very concerned about the BOP. The Supra's looking like it's been severely underpowered in terms of the BOP placed on it by GT Sport. Difficult to overcome that. You know, if he's able, as you can see, he was off on his own, and now he's back down 2 positions. And the only thing, and that's certainly not the driver, it's just the lack of horsepower here at Monza just hurts. Just doesn't allow for any type of recovery without some assistance from the draft. And so we've got to see where Guido is with respect to these guys. If he can make a little bit of a push here to catch those guys just ahead of him and get in their draft, he may be able to give Moby and Desert Penguin a run. Hitting about the halfway mark here. We're up with the leader. Doesn't look like he's stopped yet, so let's see what these pit stops bring. Oh, Turbo stays out. Timlor stays out. Nugget and Mopower stay out. Ace Boy stays out. Looking like all the pros stay out. Guido comes in. Race fan drifting through the Parabolica. Whitey's looks like Whitey's made up some decent time. Only 2 positions from where he dropped down to, but still making up time on Race fan. Race fan better look out. Johnny G, 11th. Gentleman Racing languishing down in 12th. Race fans pitted as well. That doesn't do Gentleman Racing any good. He's gonna have to make he's gonna have to make another stop. Got Turbo getting by Drummer, one of the Pro-Ams there, nicely before the Ascari chicane. Ooh, this might be problematic, or might be helpful if Timler's able to get behind Drummer, grab some draft, and get through the Parabolica cleanly without losing any time. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to catch him through the Parabolica. Oh, and Chicken Nugget, Mopower, both pitting. Chicken Nugget may get the advantage here. Looked like Chicken Nugget had a little more fuel on board going into the pit, so we'll see how they come out. Yes, Chicken Nugget gets the advantage, comes out ahead. Not by much, but perhaps just enough. If you can run a nice couple clean laps to keep Mopower out of the draft. Oh, gets a penalty. Or did he have that? Had to have gotten it through the chicane. That was kind of a fumbly chicane. How did Mopar make out? Oh, he's clean, no penalty. You got Ace Boy, who has not pitted, up in third. He's carrying a penalty as well. There's, oof, the game's handing out penalties left and right here. Ooh, Timlor. It looks like Timlor may have had some troubles getting by Drummer. Might have caught him going into the Lesmos, which will always cost you time. Yeah. Let's get down to the second half of the order here, starting with Guido. Guido and Moby stopped, and somehow Guido is ahead. Now this is kind of what we were thinking Guido may be able to do, which is get in and amongst Moby and Desert Penguin and start running some quicker laps with the draft and all. Timlor pits, but it looks like Turbo stayed out. In and out quickly. Let's get back to that midfield battle there. Moby latching on to the draft of Guido. Now, Moby being a pro, he's going to want a dispatch of Guido quickly here and move on. But Guido being a pro-am, he's going to want help getting drawn up into Desert Penguin's draft. Let's see if Desert Penguin is feeling any pressure here. It does. It gets through the chicane nicely. And I can't quite tell without some specific telemetry if Guido has in any way closed up this gap to the Lexus of Desert Penguin. Looks like he may have in spots, but then it opens up again. We'll keep an eye on the leaderboard for these guys. Meanwhile, Ace Boy, who hasn't stopped yet, and really, he's gonna lose a few positions. Probably drop down a fifth. May come out ahead of Desert Penguin. Excuse me. He's got to be coming in now with that amount of fuel. Yep, comes in. By virtue of that, Timlor is able to now take second. Chicken Nugget putting on a nice show here as well. Third, with a gap back to fourth. With this lap and 9 more to go, essentially just under 10 laps. All the chips are on the table now. Just run as hard as you can. What a substantial lead by Turbo. He's already through the 2 Lesmos. And Timler's just getting in to the Lesmos. Nice livery there, Timlor. Same with Turbo. Just really good looking liveries. You gotta love the Jacksonville Jaguar livery as well. Chicken Nugget making some inroads on Timlor. Gonna have that. It's gonna have that time penalty to burn off. Well, we got an incident in this sector. We do. Turbo. Turbo had looks like he had an off. Car's looking really rough. Can't see if anyone else was involved, really, with whatever went on with Drummer. There's some word though that he may have come back on track in an unsafe manner and caused a problem. Not much going on with the leaders. It's holding steady with Turbo in the lead. Tim Lawrence second. Chicken Nugget slowly burning off that penalty in third. Mo Power now carrying a penalty as well, fourth. Ace Boy in fifth with a small penalty but he's got a good size gap back to Desert Penguin, who's in the top position amongst the Pro-Ams. And now this batch of drivers, Penguin, Moby, Guido, coming up on Drummer, who goes off in front of them. All right, no issues as a result of that. Looks like that group continued on without problems. And Whitey now up to 9th. Race Fan in 10th. And Johnny G looks like he's gotten through the two Lesmos, and Gentleman Racing is just coming out of the second one, so he's in no danger from Gentleman Racing there. Turbo with a substantial lead. Still Tim Lore. Looks like Little Chicken Nugget may be making up the gap to Tim Lore. Little by little. Granted, there's still that penalty lingering, but looks like he's closing it up. And Mo Power may be falling back a little bit, but you know, it's tough to tell. At different points in the track, the gaps tend to widen and get shorter. Well, that'll widen the gap for sure. Oof! Nice job to keep it off the barriers. Yeah, that opened up the gap. 5th, Ace Boy. This 6th, 7th, 8th position battle is intriguing. Yeah, Guido having a good race today. Very strong. See how he gets through Ascari, if he could make up any of the gap here. He's got that little penalty, but that'll just burn off organically here. Any little brake lock up or lifting a little early into a corner, and he'll burn that right off. Shouldn't be an issue. Ooh, Moby looking to put his car in Desert Penguin's mirror. Desert Penguin's moving around quite a bit, getting defensive. Ooh. Went down one too many gears there, Guido. inching ever closer, tantalizingly close. What? That looked like a... I mean, granted, we're on board, but that looked like a clean pass through the chicane there, and the game just handing out penalties like candy on Halloween. Trick or treat. Yeah, so Guido just kind of hovering here. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. Whitey up to 9th, and he's I don't know if he's gonna have time with 6 laps left, but can he see that bunch? They're possibly on the front straight. If they get to mixing it up or have an incident. I don't see any cars. I see some trees popping in to view, but nice recovery. Picked up 3 positions from having after falling back to 12th. I mean, I'm certain he's not too happy about the outcome here, but a very nice recovery, to be honest, especially given that he's running essentially alone with no benefit of any draft and so forth. Johnny in 11th, still. Race fan in 10th. The nice showing. Gentleman Racing in 12th, way back. So let's get through the first half of the order here. Turbo leading Timlor, who is now being hassled by Chicken Nugget. And we said this earlier, a few laps ago, that Nugget appeared to be closing up the gap. Now he's within the draft. Let's see what comes of this. Perhaps waiting. Nugget may be waiting for the last couple of laps to make a move here. Certainly making a move now would just leave you open to a counter-attack in the following lap. So Mo Power a ways back. Looks like he's gotten by Pie for July. And we're hearing from the stewards that there was an unsafe re-entry by Drummer, which caused a collision with Pie for July in his... Yeah, it looks like he's pitted already and taken repairs, but... Whitey in the pits, dropping down to 10th. Yeah, but it looks like there may have been an unsafe re-entry by Drummer, which caused the collision coming through Ascari. As Pie for July exited Ascari, came into collision and just kind of really gave Drummer a wallop. No fault of Pie for July's. I guess the steward's going to be reviewing that incident and handling it appropriately. But let's get back up here to Nugget, who's hassling Timlor. Let's see the condition of their tires and fuel and whatnot. Ooh. Nugget a little better on fuel than Timlor, and Timlor a little better on tires than Nugget. I think at this point in the race, with the percentage of throttle throughout the course of this track on any given lap, you want to be safe on fuel, especially when you're battling here. Yeah, that's 2 laps now where Nugget could potentially have made a move to the inside going into the first chicane, but yeah, you gotta think he's waiting for later on so he can counter any type of counter attack from Timlor. Smart driving. You know, worst case scenario, you don't make it stick and you end up with a strong finish anyway and pick up minimal ballast. Worst case scenario, you start battling back and forth and then Mopower gets back in the mix, who's really not far behind. Running in the 56s. Looks like lap 22 he really hustled it out prior to lap 20 as opposed to lap 21 and 20. These guys consistently in the low 156s. So Turbo, if he could hold on, it's going to pick up the full 25 points. Had pole, gives him a bonus point, and looks like fastest lap is yet to be determined here. I mean, the whole race is yet to be determined, but given the present condition, as far as the leader, he's going to pick up some good chunk of points and make up some headway up on Timlor, who's the championship leader on 27 points. Yeah, look at Nugget, just hanging back there. Little chicken nugget. Just playing the game, waiting for the right moment to just dip his toe into the sweet and sour sauce and make a move. Yeah, the move he makes, he's hoping is sweet for him and sour for Timlor. Timlor with a best sector. Well, Power running through the order here again. Ace Boy, strong 5th position, and Moby and Penguin still going at it. Penguin looking on the inside of Moby through Curva Grande. Moby taking the defensive line. Oh, and that Lexus just able to power through on the inside through Curva Grande. Give him DP. Well, we won't call him that. There's other uses for those initials. But Desert Penguin locking down a 6th place. Well, not locking it down, not just yet, but getting by for a 6th place. If he could hold it, that's a heck of a finish for a Pro-Am. Would finish ahead of a pro driver. And that Supra, it's wonderful, it's a beautiful car, but at a great disadvantage at these power tracks here. Guido falling back a little bit from these two guys. He's not able to take full advantage of that draft. Whitey back up in 9th. Johnny in 11th. Race Fan 10th. Gentleman Racing. Whoa, Johnny with an off. That's going to cost him time back to Gentleman Racing. Ooh, okay, looks like he recovered. Let's see if there's a significant impact here. Yeah, Johnny just getting into Ascari and Gentleman Racing approaching. Looked like the gap was about 12 seconds. Looks like he might have lost 4 or 5 seconds on that. No damage. Tires are dirty, but they're still looking reasonable. Gentleman Racing's tires are a little bit better by virtue of the fact that he stopped twice this race, so looks like he might have taken tires much later in the race than normal. He might have lost half of the advantage he had on Gentleman Racing. Yeah, you see, it's closed up quite a bit. Back up to that midfield battle with Desert Penguin and Moby. Is Moby looking to make a last-ditch effort to get by Penguin by falling back into the draft? I don't know. He doesn't seem to be right up on Penguin. I mean, he could be looking to do that, but let's see if there's an overspeed here. Oh, the torque of that Lexus is just overwhelming. It should be noted that I think it may be the car with the highest horsepower under normal BOP specs. I think it's around 416 horsepower. So, oof. He's looking really low on fuel. Yeah. Final lap now. Let's get on with the leader. Final lap. Let's get up with the leaders. Turbo holding the gap to Nugget, who's gotten by Timnor. We missed it. My apologies. Let's see if it sticks. See if it sticks. It's very low on fuel. Timnor's very low as well. Turbo's looking like he's fine. Mo Power secure in 4th position. Ace Boy secure in 5th. Let's just check to see if Moby can give Desert Penguin a run here. Doesn't look like it. We'll have to get back to him once our leader, a potential race winner, passes the start finish. Yeah, there we have it. Coming through the Parabolica onto the front straight. No issues, no hiccups. A good battle. And there we have it, our winner. Little Chicken Nugget takes 2nd, Timnor in 3rd, Mo Power in 4th. Looks like Ace Boy is gonna lock down 5th. Let's see him cross the line with the penalty, which won't impact the finishing order. Yes, 5th for Ace Boy. 6th. Oh, and Moby does put the move. Oh, but he goes off. Can't make it stick. Oh, last ditch effort. Desert Penguin's able to hold on. Oh, ended up in the pits for Moby. Still keeps 9th. Whitey Guido with 8th. 10th Race Fan. And it looks like Gentleman Racing was able to squeeze past Johnny, but Johnny's making a move back on him. Johnny G drawing in. That Corvette's got good power and no ballast. Oh, side by side through the Parabolica. Gentleman Racing goes wide, kind of cuts the nose off on him. But he had the line. And 11th for Gentleman Racing, it looks like. Yes.